Welcome everyone to the House of Faith and Fashion. I can't believe it's season 2 finale with me, Toby Rubenstein, author of the best-selling series, The House of Faith and Fashion. I'm so excited to share my home with all of you on this very special visit and this very special season, and all the amazing guests and visitors that are here today and have been here throughout the whole season. And I'm so happy that you're here with me. But today, my dear friend who is responsible for my luxurious golden locks, Zelda Lebovits, is stopping by. Not only does she own the innovative wig line Zelda Hair, but she is also a Jewish woman life coach. To hear all about her journey and how her wigs are changing lives. Believe me, it's changed mine. I also have the most sought after celebrity stylist, Sandra Majdi. She happens to be styling everyone from the Latin Grammys to, I don't even know. She styles everybody. She's the it stylist in Miami and also at the Miss Universe pageant. And she's going to talk about her new brand as well. But speaking of Miss Universe, the man behind some of the most awe-inspiring costumes from pageants now and before and beyond, my dear friend Aviad Arik Herman is going to be here. All of my visitors display a beautiful blend of faith and fashion. I've been working with them for a long time, and I'm honored to know them because they're amazing people. As you all know, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my own faith and fashion journey. But right now it's time for a truly special hallelujah moment. As we celebrate the season finale, I have exclusive pre-recorded segment with our very own fashion Dr. Ashley Radzicki from St. Thomas University, dishing out major fashion news. As you know, I have my hallelujah moment as a part of my show, and we're thrilled to bring a big hallelujah moment here on location at St. Thomas University.
Who would have thought that, I don't even remember how many years ago it was, 3 or 4 years ago?
I think so, yeah.
That we served on a panel that was talking about faith and fashion, and here we are, 4 years later.
Right from the first discussion, we collaborated on so many initiatives, like, okay, number one, Holy.
Yes.
Epic.
Yes.
First
Amazing.
modest fashion show.
Amazing.
During New York Fashion Week with the Jewish, Christian, and Muslim designers with the top influencers from Jewish, Christian, and Muslim faith, and it was great. And then we did followed up with the faith and fashion talks.
That's right.
And that wasn't too shabby since we got the designer for Sarah Jessica Parker on season 2 of And Just Like That.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was incredible.
Well, and all but really, you're featured in my book, Hot and Holy.
That's
you have your own essay, girl.
Yeah, but the fact that you even asked me to do that, you've definitely been a spiritual godmother to help me understand how I can bring this all together. So I wouldn't be on this without you, just understanding the value of it.
We're excited to share the reason why we're doing this, which is a hallelujah fashion moment, because we are just going to unveil our next big project, and that is an upcoming exhibit called Sacred Threads. How long have you been wanting to do this?
You know what? You inspired it because your book was initiated by
the Heavenly Bodies.
Heavenly Bodies
at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So we're going to be doing our own version,
That's
a
right.
divine tapestry of fashion in Judaism and Catholicism.
So what this exhibit's going to be all about, it's going to be a just collection of faith, fashion, but also sustainability. We're going to explore all the religions, specifically Judaism and Catholicism, through the lens, really, of fashion. And that's going to be the cohesion through all of it that we're going to be able to provide. For me, it's all about all the things that's going on out there today.
Yes.
Providing education is key to be able to, educate people on what exactly is the origins of both of our religions, really.
Exactly. So one of the key highlights will be the symbolism of colors. Colors in religious attire are more than just pretty shades. They carry deep spiritual meaning. For instance, blue, which in Judaism is called Tcheles in Judaism, which symbolizes divinity, while purple in Catholicism represents royalty and penance. Plus, we're particularly excited to, again, talk about sustainability and upcycling, being that we are going to refashion religious garments into something different
with a different way of looking at those.
Yep.
Without being disrespectful to the garment itself that was in practice to something holy. So it's a very delicate dance, and we're going to show this in so many different contemporary ways within the fashion industry, and actually it's mind-blowing. And it's the first of its kind, which you know how I like to do everything.
That's right.
And I just want the audience to appreciate that you can talk and talk and talk, but really in the end you have to do.
That's right.
In order to actually really encompass the right values, and whether they're different or the same.
There's some other elements that are going to be associated as part of the exhibit. It's going to highlight beauty and the depth of religious attire. You even provided me some education on Judaism, and I mean, for me, it's just been an opportunity for me to also research all the holy vestments that are associated with the Catholic Church too. So we do have our campus ministry here at St. Thomas. We do have some other key stakeholders that are part of this. So we have a lot of different perspectives that are being able to make this project actually come to fruition. So
mark your calendars, because we can't wait for you to experience sacred threads and discover how faith and fashion intertwine in meaningful ways, actually multiple meaningful ways.
So grateful that Toby has allowed us to be part of the show, and has allowed us to have this own individual segment as part of the House of Faith and Fashion. Thank you for joining us as part of the Style Prescription this season. Thank you for being here with us.
I'm
so grateful.
I'm honored. I actually, this season 2 has been phenomenal. Get ready for season 3, because you're going to be behind the scenes of building sacred threads. I am personally in awe and also grateful for this.
All right, Toby. Always remember, let fashion be your canvas and faith be your guide. God bless, and go Bobcats.
To the season 2 finale of the House of Faith and Fashion. Yes, I changed. It's my show. It's the finale, so I have 2 different outfits. But I'm delighted that you're all here for this memorable visit. And right now, I'm being joined by the iconic Miss Universe costume designer. I mean, he is, and I just love him. He's a subject in my first book, in my second book, and he's such a great friend, aside from an amazingly talented human being. Welcome to the House of Faith and Fashion, Aviad. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Toby. I'm honored to be here.
Aviad, you and I go back to producing a show during New York Fashion Week where you were the finale dress that had drums, and it was a moment that it was so special, and we formed a great friendship from there. And you have been dressing Miss Universe and designers and entertainers for quite some time. Can you dive into your journey of the fashion industry? Like, how did you start, Aviad?
Wow. Well, first of all, that is indeed a beautiful memory. Our mutual effort at one of the opening events at New York Fashion Week.
It was great.
But my journey, I believe, goes way back, even to my my heritage. I grew up in a house where my grandmother, who was originally from Spain, was a professional seamstress and would sew at home. Dresses for her daughter, my mom. And so my mom grew up to be this mega multi-talent, crafting clothes, and both of them had a very, very high sense of style, very, very chic and elegant all the time. So that was my my surrounding, and basically I was looking up to the 2 of them. And from a very, very young age, started to express myself through, well, I wouldn't call it fashion drawings at the time. It was just my sketches or drawings, but I was really always intrigued by clothes. I grew up as a young child. I grew up in Cairo, Egypt for 3 years because of my parents' work. And I, for the first time, saw belly dancers, and I was mesmerized by the belly dancers, both for their performance, for their physicality, for their femininity and sensuality, as well as their fashion and their costumes, their elaborate, dazzling, colorful costumes. So as a very young individual, I was already very motivated and inspired to express that. I was also for my second birthday, I received a Barbie doll as a gift living in Cairo, and I loved my Barbie. I love to dress and undress my Barbie, and as I was blessed with amazing parents that provided me with Barbie dolls, I was able to collect Barbie dolls, and really that was my natural self expression. So all of that roots really led me through the years to develop myself, my designer identity.
I loved what you said about Barbie dolls. There are many designers, very famous fashion designers, that started all the way back in their Barbie doll era. So you just never know how important that Barbie doll is. How did you move from Barbie dolls, belly dancers, to Miss Universe?
For many years, I've lived in Europe as I actually fulfilled a professional dance and performing career. That opened up a lot of doors for me already to work as a costume designer. So living in Sweden, I was, I don't remember the year, but I participated at one of Sweden's annual competitions for promising designers. I didn't win the competition, but one of the things that happened following that was that the Miss Universe Sweden organization reached out and asked for the reigning queen to wear the piece that I introduced on stage there on the catwalk. So that sparked the whole Miss Universe journey for me. That was 14 years ago, and in fact, for the past 14 consecutive years, I've been affiliated with the Miss Universe competition, having designed evening gowns and national costumes for various contestants from multiple countries. I believe more than 13 countries by now. Some of them were even nominated top best at Miss Universe. So altogether, I'm very proud to have been doing that.
Well, I can attest for the beauty of your costumes because, again, we did another event called Hot and Holy in which you brought the Miss Morocco dress to be the finale of the show. Right. I guess I love you as my finales of my shows. What can I tell you? It makes sense that you would be on my season 2 finale as well. But your most controversial and probably interesting dress was the Jerusalem dress that you created for Miss Israel, but you first created it for one of the ministers to wear at the Cannes Film Festival. So can you tell our audience about that great dress?
Sure. So in 2017, I was commissioned by our former culture and sport minister to design a very unique dress. The year 2017 marked the 50th anniversary for the Six-Day War and the liberation and reunification of Jerusalem. So I was very, very honored to show up to the flag, if you may, and design a gown for the minister, who also intended to wear that dress at the opening event of the Cannes Film Festival. It was the 70th edition in Cannes. It's one of the world's most spectacular and important film events. And I had the great privilege also to be a part of her entourage. So to walk that red carpet, next to all those Hollywood stars was a very, very epic moment in my life, in my career. But as you mentioned, indeed the dress sparked a huge controversy, and I am very, very humbled to be a living artist and a living designer that in my lifetime one of my creations is referred to, at least here in my home country, Israel, as one of the most famous dresses in the history of Israeli fashion. Yeah, I was very proud of that accomplishment. I had, done my best for it, and it was never utilized by Miss Israel after. However, it was showcased at the Jewish Museum in Berlin.
Wow.
And yes. So yeah, I am very, very happy that I have that in my resume. It is one of my, accomplishments. Thankfully, I am a very diverse designer, and my line of work is indeed very diverse. I do all those exclusive custom-made gowns or national costumes at the Miss Universe competition. I also design a lot of stage costumes
Yes.
for dance, for theater, for musical theater. So altogether, it is very colorful and
Diversified.
diverse. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and I think that's what's remarkable about you. I mean, if you go to your Instagram page, you're always traveling to some other destination in the world, participating in either making a costume for their contestants for Miss Universe, or being in the theater and doing some sort of great production. So I'm going to ask you, what are you working on now?
Great. So I actually just had a premiere a week ago at the National Theater of Israel, Habima, with a theater piece that I'm very, very fortunate to have had the chance to design. A theater piece named Mary Stuart. It's a classic in a modern interpretation with Queen Elizabeth I and Mary, Queen of Scots, and it was a really, really delightful experience. So I'm very, very excited to see how this all came together. And when you come to Israel, I would love to invite you to the theater and
I'm
your
there.
viewers.
I'm there.
And
But Aviad, let's get into a little bit into the psychological part of Miss Universe. I mean, how does
Okay.
it feel to dress these women that are sort of so magnificent and so beautiful, competing against each other? Like, what do you insert of your own values into this kind of a contest? Because I know that you're so special like that.
In a way, I feel like I have developed this expertise specifically at the Miss Universe context, and specifically with the national costume one. I am also very grateful that with the years I have also built the name for myself and the reputation that really I get the trust of the contestants themselves, as well as their national directors, who basically would commission me and license me to conceptualize and design and bring to life the dress. But it is indeed to me, it is an exciting challenge. I don't necessarily approach it as a difficult thing. Of course, it is very exciting. I am very much aware that this is a very, very special moment and time in the girl's life. It's once in a lifetime thing, and of course, they all compete for the crown, but they also all compete for the attention. And I take on that mission with a great responsibility when I conceptualize a dress or a national costume for a contestant, thinking about what added value would it have, not for the dress not to only be beautiful or spectacular or elaborate in the physical or technical aspect of it, but really from a intellectual and psychological perspective. So to me, this is a very, very interesting process, or the portion that goes into that process, to search and to research and learn about a country's history, a country's tradition, culture. Who are the people that are living, that are making a difference in that country? How, what would be most relevant to bring to the world stage at the times we live in? To me, this is what excites me the most.
Aviad, what was it like? I know that you were acknowledged by the Queen of Sweden, and you also had instructions from the King of Morocco. So what's it like actually working with royalty to help depict the culture of the nation properly through their costume? I mean, it's a tremendous responsibility.
So just to be frank, I at least not had the chance to work directly with the royalties yet. When I lived in Sweden, I established an organization called the One Life Dreams, together with the Culture Festival in Gothenburg, and I created and curated community artistic projects, international ones, that the objective was to inspire, and make a difference in the lives of people, and specifically with children. These projects were really, really effective and successful. So the blessing of Her Majesty, the Queen of Sweden, Sylvia, was a side effect, if you may. But I was very, very, very honored and very humbled to have it. Same goes for Morocco, when I had the great honor to be the first Israeli designer to design the evening gown for Miss Morocco. Soon after, Israel and Morocco signed the Abraham Accords and renewed their diplomatic relationships. So that really was a beautiful story. Israel and Morocco and the Jews of Morocco, it's a very profound and powerful history.
That's wonderful, Aviad. So tell me, if you could manifest the creation of a collaboration right now, what would that be?
Toby, I told you earlier that as a teenager, I would use my fashion drawings as a diary. At the time, I used to play a lot, both Whitney Houston and Celine Dion. I would close the door and sit alone in my room and listen to these two fabulous artists. So I somehow had this dream to one day have the chance to dress them.
Celine Dion, if you're listening, Aviad needs to dress you. We have to go, but I have one really important question. How a person should dress for a house of worship?
Fabulously.
I love that answer.
Just fabulously.
Because I know that the other answers, I know that your talent's God-given. I know that you need 100% faith to be in your business. And I'm so looking forward to seeing what you're doing next. Okay. But thank you again for visiting with me today for the season finale of the House of Faith and Fashion.
So Toby, how does your skin stay so fabulous on the set of the House of Faith and Fashion?
I finished filming Season 2 premiere of the House of Faith and Fashion for Connect Network TV. And I have to tell you, I wouldn't have this kind of skin for all the stuff that I've been through without Gleam. Seriously, I would not have this skin without Gleam. Thank you, Marlene.
Gleam Beauty Skincare, changing lives one face at a time.
Marlene Wallach, founder of Gleam Beauty Aloe-based Skincare. Give it a try and discover how we change lives, one face at a time.
Welcome back to the season 2 finale of the House of Faith and Fashion. This has been such a meaningful visit so far with amazing guests and visitors who happen to be friends of mine. But the fun's not over yet. You always want to know who does my hair. So visiting us on the House of Faith and Fashion right now is entrepreneur, CEO of Zelda's Hair Shop and Power Life Coaching Services. Like, she takes care of your whole head. Welcome, Zelda Lebovits.
Thank you. Hi, Toby.
Hi.
So
how
nice.
Are you?
Good. Thank God.
Good. Well, let's dive right into your hair company, Zelda. What inspired you to do this Zelda hair?
So I started this company when I was really young, 22 years old. I was a new mom, and I grew up Orthodox, so that's all I knew. I just knew about hair covering and wigs. We get married and we wear wigs, and it wasn't at all something that I thought I would ever be into it. I wasn't like the one playing with hair or growing up like with dolls. It wasn't something that I was like busy with. But when I got married, I remember like feeling so like that first initial wig that I put on myself was such a huge change. Yeah. And I didn't ever consider like how much of an identity the hair was until that point. And so when I was married after wearing a wig for a few years, I got into the business when I was on maternity leave from my other job. And I had some time on my hands, and I was really like looking for a change within myself. Like after I had my baby, of like, I don't feel like myself, wearing these wigs that I didn't feel like myself, and putting on a new wig and like reshaping it, making it feel like myself, like bringing that youthful part of myself out, really like changed something inside me. And I felt like I needed to bring that aspect to women in my community.
That's amazing. And I want to tell you, I happen to be one of those women in your community, and I really appreciate it. But it, like you said, I just want to explain it's not only about glamorous hair, but within Orthodox Judaism, this is part of the process of a married woman has to cover her hair. But you wanted to make it more you. So how do you translate that into your customer? Like, how do you deliver that message to the Zelda customer?
Yeah, so there's like there's this universal concept of like beauty and what we want to look like, or sometimes clients come in with like pictures from magazines.
Right.
But the essential part that I try to exude and I try to converse with my clients about is what makes, and even my daughters, by the way, I have this conversation with my daughters all the time. It's like, how do there's something inside you that lights up when you wear something and it feels good inside. It's not about anybody else. It's not about, approval or validation. It's about like that feeling, that confidence that you feel like yourself, like there's an authentic expression of you that comes through, that lights up. And that's what I try to get with the wigs when a woman feels like herself. So whether it doesn't even matter if it's the exact color that she used to be or not. It's about what makes you feel like you, like the best version of you. And for some women, it's every day something else. They want to change it up.
Mm-hmm.
Today they want to be blonde. Tomorrow they want to be darker. And then for other women, they want to have that same look, the same conservative look. Everyone has a different style, a different method, and I try to bring that out in each client.
You have pop-up shops everywhere. How does somebody find you in all the different places that you go to? You travel all over the world.
Yeah, so I love traveling and meeting different women, and I think that also like connects back to what I'm saying, that you could be from any part of the world. You could be really covering your hair, looking for a wig for whatever reason, and it's
Right.
something that connects all women.
Yep.
So I'm actually going to London and Jerusalem and Paris next week, and I pop up all over. I meet women from all walks of life. I usually connect with local hairstylists and then I have like a trade show, a pop-up shop,
Right.
where I show them the pieces. And my newest collection is actually very cool because it's very natural, but it's also affordable in the
Wow.
So
That's great.
Yeah, it's really I try to get that like sweet spot between super glamorous and natural, because you want the natural hair movement and the depth, but you also want the affordability.
See, you're not just a good wig maker, you're just a great person, which is why I love you. So thank you for being part of my season finale. This has been a great visit, and hey,
you look fabulous.
I don't go anywhere without my Zelda wigs. I tell everyone, they lean over, they whisper in my ear, who does her hair? That's the Zelda. I'm like Zelda. I'm the queen of Zeldas. So thank you so much, Zelda. I really appreciate it. And I want to take the time and thank to all my visitors for rocking with me today.